The rain hammered against the windows of our Chicago apartment, mirroring the tempest brewing inside me. For 20 years, Kay and I had built a life together. I was a software engineer, happily coding away, providing a comfortable life for us. Kay, with her infectious laughter and vibrant spirit, was the sunshine in my otherwise logical world. Or so I thought. It started subtly. A coolness in her touch, a distracted gaze that didn't quite meet mine. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Business trips, once rare, became a monthly occurrence. I chalked it up to stress, to the pressures of her job as a marketing executive. I tried to be supportive, made her favorite dinners, drew her baths. But the distance remained, a chasm widening between us. Then came the phone. A sleek, rose-gold iPhone tucked away in the back of her closet, hidden beneath a pile of scarves. Curiosity, that insidious beast, gnawed at me. Kay was asleep, her breathing even and deep. I told myself it was just curiosity, nothing more. But my heart hammered against my ribs as I retrieved the phone. The password was easy, our anniversary. A sick feeling churned in my stomach as the screen unlocked, and then I saw them. The messages. Dozens, hundreds exchanged with a contact saved as Mark Project. I can't stop thinking about you, one message read. This project is so boring without you, missing your touch. Another replied, my breath hitched. My hands trembled. This wasn't just a friendly work relationship. This was something else, something far more sinister. I scrolled further, each message a fresh stab wound to my heart. Photos, intimate selfies taken in hotel rooms I didn't recognize. Kay smiling, radiant, in the arms of a man who wasn't me. A man named Mark. The world tilted. The rain outside intensified, as if the heavens themselves were weeping for my loss. My Kay, my wife, my best friend, was having an affair. I stumbled back, the phone slipping from my numb fingers. It clattered against the hardwood floor, the sound echoing in the silent apartment. I sank to the floor, a sob escaping my lips. 20 years. 20 years of love, loyalty, and trust shattered in an instant. The next few days were a blur. I confronted Kay. She denied it at first, gaslighting me, telling me I was being paranoid, that I was misinterpreting things. But the evidence was irrefutable. The phone, the messages, the photos. Finally she broke. Tears streamed down her face as she confessed. Mark was a colleague, a younger man, recently divorced. It had started innocently enough, she claimed. Late-night work sessions, shared drinks, a moment of weakness, but it had quickly spiraled out of control. I'm so sorry, she sobbed. I never meant to hurt you, but you did, I said, my voice hollow. You destroyed everything. Anger came later, a burning rage that consumed me. How could she do this? How could she betray me so completely? I paced the apartment, shouting, throwing things. The pain was unbearable, a physical ache in my chest. Sleep evaded me. Food tasted like ash. I lost weight, my eyes hollow and bloodshot. I was a ghost of my former self. Divorce was inevitable. The legal process was agonizing, a constant reminder of Kay's betrayal. We divided our assets, sold the apartment, and went our separate ways. I moved into a small, sterile condo downtown, surrounded by strangers. I tried to move on, to rebuild my life. I went back to work, threw myself into my projects. I saw a therapist who helped me process my emotions. But the scars remained deep and raw. One night, months after the divorce was finalized, I was scrolling through social media when I saw it. A photo. Kay and Mark beaming, standing in front of a wedding chapel in Las Vegas. They had gotten married. A wave of nausea washed over me. The audacity, the sheer callousness. They had destroyed my life, and now they were celebrating their happiness. That's when the idea started to form. A dark, twisted seed of revenge, planted in the fertile ground of my pain. I started small. I knew Mark's company was launching a new product, a competitor to my own. I used my skills as a software engineer to create a backdoor into their system, a vulnerability that could be exploited at any time. Then, I focused on Kay. I knew she had always dreamed of opening her own marketing agency. I used my connections in the industry to spread rumors, to sabotage her efforts. Potential clients suddenly disappeared. Funding fell through. Her dream was crumbling before her eyes. I watched from the shadows, a puppet master pulling the strings. I reveled in their misfortune, their struggles. It wasn't enough to erase the pain, but it provided a small measure of satisfaction. But as I continued down this path, I started to feel empty. The revenge, the sabotage, it wasn't making me happy. It was consuming me, turning me into someone I didn't recognize. I realized that I was becoming just as toxic as Kay and Mark. I was letting their betrayal define me, control me. That's when I decided to stop. I closed the back door in Mark's system. I stopped spreading rumors about Kay. I decided to focus on myself, on my own happiness. It wasn't easy. The anger and resentment lingered, but I refused to let them consume me. I started exercising, taking cooking classes, and reconnecting with old friends. I even started dating again. One evening, I received a call from Kay. Her voice was trembling. "I need your help," she said. Mark had left her. He had run off with another woman, leaving her heartbroken and alone. Her agency had failed, and she was drowning in debt. "I don't know what to do," she cried. A part of me wanted to revel in her misery, to tell her that she deserved everything that was happening to her. But I couldn't sink that low. "I can't help you, Kay," I said softly. "But I hope you find your way." I hung up the phone, a sense of peace washing over me. I had finally let go. I had forgiven her, not for her sake, but for my own. I learned a valuable lesson from Kay's betrayal. That revenge is a hollow victory. That true happiness comes from within. And that sometimes the best way to heal is to simply let go. Years passed. I met someone new, a kind and compassionate woman named. We built a life together filled with love and laughter. I never forgot Kay, but her betrayal no longer defined me. It was just a chapter in my life, a painful memory that had ultimately made me stronger. One sunny afternoon, I received an email from an unknown address. It was from Mark. He apologized for his actions, for the pain he had caused me, and Kay. He admitted that he had been selfish and immature and that he regretted everything. I deleted the email without responding. His apology meant nothing to me. What mattered was that I had moved on, that I had found happiness despite his and Kay's betrayal. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and smiled. The rain had stopped. The sun was shining. And for the first time in a long time, I felt truly free. That was years ago. I'm now in my late 40s, happily married to and living a life I never thought possible after Kay's betrayal. I still think about her sometimes, but it's no longer with anger or resentment. It's with a sense of closure, of understanding that people make mistakes and that sometimes the best thing you can do is forgive and move on. But the story doesn't quite end there. A few weeks ago, I received a message from a mutual friend. Kay was sick, seriously sick, cancer. I hesitated. Did I want to see her, after everything that had happened, after all the pain she had caused me, encouraged me to go? "It's the right thing to do," she said, "for both of you." So I went. I found Kay in a hospital bed, frail and weak, barely recognizable as the vibrant woman I had once loved. We talked for hours. She apologized again for her betrayal, for the pain she had caused me. She told me that she had never stopped regretting her actions. I forgave her, truly forgave her. Not because she deserved it, but because I needed to. I needed to let go of the last vestiges of anger and resentment. She died a few weeks later. I attended her funeral. It was a small, private affair. Mark wasn't there. He had apparently disappeared from her life years ago. As I stood by her graveside, I realized that Kay's betrayal had ultimately led me to a better place. It had forced me to confront my own weaknesses, to grow as a person, and to find true happiness with it. Was a painful journey, but it was a journey worth taking. And I am grateful for it in a strange and unexpected way. Life is unpredictable. People make mistakes. Betrayal happens. But it doesn't have to define you. You can choose to let go, to forgive, and to move on. And you can find happiness again, even after the darkest of times. And this is my story. Now let me speak directly to you, the reader. If you've ever experienced betrayal, know that you're not alone. It's a pain that cuts deep, but it doesn't have to consume you. Allow yourself to grieve, to feel the anger and sadness, but don't let it define you. Seek help, talk to friends and family, and remember that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You are strong, you are resilient, and you deserve happiness. Don't let anyone take that away from you.